Before the time of the Dust Bowl, the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma were very prosperous. However, it was not meant to stay this way. As time passed, the land grew older and frailer. Soon it was coated with dust and no longer grew crops for the people.
Sorry I'm late, Thomas. It's traffic. Did I keep you long? The Dust Bowl, a horrid time for the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. The Dust Bowl lasted for 6 years in Texas and in some areas lasted for 10 years. The phenomenon of death was caused by severe drought and was turned from unused soil into overused soil.
On April 14, 1935, the sun came up in a clear sky. The day was nice while a gentle breeze came out of the southwest. Suddenly, a cloud appeared on the horizon. Birds tried to fly ahead of it, but not fast enough for the cloud of dust that was traveling 60 miles per hour. This day was called Black Sunday.
As the dust went into the land, the farmers cried out to the and pleaded for mercy. The land was overused and unusable, and people could not get enough food.
In 1931, the black blizzard started and it became a living nightmare as all the plants crumbled away into dust and the soil was transformed into grains of sand.
The next year, the storms did not stop as the farmers pleaded, but increased in volume as 14 were reported in 1932.
As the drought continued, the Congress came up with the Emergency Banking Act of 1933 and the Farm Credit Act of 1933. Over 6 million pigs were slaughtered to stabilize prices, with most of the meat going to waste. Apples, beans, canned beef, flour, and pork products were distributed through local relief channels. Cotton goods were eventually included.
The Dust Bowl caused people from the other states to begin arguing about the agricultural fights. This caused many strikes and had 2 men and 1 woman killed, and with hundreds of innocent people injured.
Huge dust storms spread from the Dust Bowl area. The drought was the worst ever in Texas history. The Fraser-Lemke Farm Bankruptcy Act was approved, and this act restricted the ability of banks to dispossess farmers in times of distress. It was effective until 1938, when the Dust Bowl finally ended. It was, however, renewed 4 times in history. Many attempts were made to fix the overuse of land.
In 1938, the dust finally begins to slow down. As the drought goes on, however, people are forced to begin to think of new ways to plant. This, however, was not the end of the Dust Bowl.
As the end of the drought finally came, people were devastated by the effects that it had on the people. In the fall, rain finally came, and the U.S. was brought out of the Great Depression, and as wheat started to reappear, the machines of war for World War II appeared also. As the drought was swept away from the panhandles, World War II was coming closer with Hitler at the top.